Hey everyone, it's Chelsea Evans. I'm a furniture artist from Redesign with Prima, and in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make molds. We are going to use quick cure clay, and I've got my gloves on because when you work with this, you want to make sure that you have gloves, and you want to work in a well-ventilated area. And we'll just take a little bit, and I'll show you how to do this. Just break a little bit of this clay off. It doesn't have to be very thick. So we'll just kind of get it moving in our hands and kind of warm it up a little bit so we can shape it the way we want to. To use this, you'll need your mold, some gloves, like I said, and you will need a heat gun, and that will cure the clay, all right? So I'm gonna take it, let's see, we're gonna get about the shape we want here. I'm going to use this little center part of the mold. So this is the Agdare Patterns mold that we're using today. It's got a beautiful kind of bohemian coastal feel, and the design in it is very intricate. It's really beautiful. So we are going to apply our quick cure clay, and we're just gonna press it right into our mold. Now you can use any type of clay that will set. You can use resin in these molds, like a quick cure resin. You can use fondant, gum paste, or you can use chocolate as well. So I'll just take the extra parts of our clay and I'll put it right back in the bag. And you can even put like pie dough or cookie dough in these, and you can bake in the molds. So they are food safe and heat resistant. So I will show you guys later too. We'll do some chocolate molds. Those are really fun to add to things. And you can clean your molds by hand. You can use a little scrubby brush when you're ready to clean them, or you can throw them in the dishwasher as well. I have done that. Usually I'll clean them by hand and get them pretty clean and then just pop them in the dishwasher, and that way they are ready to go for whatever medium I decide to use them for. All right, get that right in place. And I'm just kind of cleaning up my edges a little bit. And I'm going to make it flat. If you do resin molds, they will dry really, really hard. And if they have any edges or anything like that, you can actually sand them down with an orbital sander, or you can sand them by hand and make that back nice and smooth. So I've got my mold all in there, and it's nice and it's pretty level in there. So now I'm going to take my heat gun while it's in the mold, and we are going to hit it with some heat. All right, so once that's fully cured, it will release from your mold, okay? And you can take it and just pop it out. Like that, okay? So you can see it sits a little bit uneven. It's a little bit thicker on the back. So all I'll do is once this cools down, it's a little bit hot. But once it cools down, I'll just kind of sand the back a little bit and I'll get it nice and smooth. Then we can apply it. I am gonna show you how to take molds from the Agdare Patterns mold and apply it to this cute picture frame. So I love this because it has little cabinet doors on it. And although it's really small, you can take what I'm teaching you on a small scale and apply it to a large scale if you'd like. So if you paint something with cabinet doors, you can apply molds to it and do the same thing, all right? So I have these cute little flowers, and these are poured in our resin, and I love all the details in them. They're just so cute. They're very strong and durable, all right? So I'm going to use my chalk paste to paint them, and then I will apply them. So I can apply them, tape them on there, and I can wait till it dries and paint the whole thing. But I like the way this is, and I want to add just a little pop of color. So we are going to paint them before we add them on, all right? So let's grab our paint. This color is called Provence, and this is chalk paste from Redesign with Prima. It is a nice thick paint. It's great for adding texture, and it's also really nice for smalls. I'm going to use the number 10 Art Basics brush, and we will just go ahead and dab that paint right on there. Beautiful little blue flower. And then after it's all painted, I can apply it just like this, or I can add a little bit of our gold decor wax, and I can highlight all of those raised decorative edges. Whoop. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Paint the other one. The chalk paste is highly pigmented, so you don't need much, and it has great coverage. It's really good for smalls because you can do one coat most of the time and you've got really nice coverages, and they have some really fun colors. Okay, so that's perfect. Got them both painted. Let's let them dry, and then we'll add a little bit of our decor wax to it. So we've got them all painted blue. We're going to add a little bit of our decor wax just to get those details to really pop, and then we will apply it to our doors. So I'm going to use a little bit of the vintage gold decor wax. You don't need much. You can use your finger to apply this, or you can use a brush. I use the Art Basics brush, and my brush, the paint is almost all the way off of it, so I'm just going to use the same brush instead of getting a new brush, and I'll just kind of rub it in our decor wax, and then I'll just lightly brush my mold and just pick up all those beautiful, intricate details. Ah, I love that. So now we have one that's painted, it's really beautiful, and then we have the one with just some light gold brushed on it, and it really, really pops. It looks nice. Let's add it to our other. And a little bit of this goes a long way. It's not going to come off or rub off. It will stay in place, which is awesome. So you don't have to worry about that. Now we have our detailed molds. Those look so beautiful. I really love them. And we're going to put them on our doors, okay? And remember, this is the little cabinet that we added our stamp on the inside. So we have our fun kind of designer interior. I'm going to use heavy body gel to apply these. You can use almost any type of glue, but I really like the heavy body gel because it's thick and it holds them in place. And if I'm working on a vertical surface and I'm applying molds, this is really nice because it's strong enough to hold them where they lie. I will still add some tape just to kind of keep them in place while it dries in case anybody walks by, bumps it, or anything like that. But they will hold without it. So it has a little seal on it. Go ahead and pull that right off. Now, heavy body gel is cool because you can mix it into acrylic paints to make them thicker, and you can do a lot of neat things with that, or you can use it as a glue, which is what we're going to do. So you can see it's almost like a jelly, okay? It is nice and thick, all right? And you don't need much. So we are going to put it on the back of our mold, and I just spread it nice and even over the mold. And then we will set it in place. Let's see. I guess I'll put them right there. Okay. So set it right there. And you can use like a little Q-tip if you want, or something just to kind of clean up any excess of that glue. It will dry clear. I like to just kind of clean up any excess, and we'll add on our other. There we go. Add a little bit more because I want to make sure that it applies evenly. So you can see that stuff is strong. My little tool stands right up in it, And then we will apply this one right across so they can be friends. Cute. Look at that door, just from a plain old picture frame. Well, it is a cute frame, but little thrift store find into something really fun, interactive, and cute. And then I will take my tape and I will just place it right over the top of them to lightly hold them in place. And when it's dry, I can just pull that tape right off and we are all done. So this jewelry box we've done a lot to. We've added some stamps. We've added raised stenciling, some of our 3D stenciling with our 3D fiber paste. And we have done some decoupage on the insides. So it's got all the bells and whistles and we just need to give it its finishing touches. So I thought using the Royal Emblem mold on top would be perfect, all right? So I've got the Royal Emblem mold and I've already painted it kind of like a silvery gold color after I poured it. And then I thought he needs like a little bit of gold too, right? So I added a little bit of our decor wax to this lion in the Eternal decor wax, okay? And that's the same decor wax that's on our sides here of our raised stenciling, so then it will all tie together. So this is what it's gonna look like after we finish it. I think it's honestly like the perfect mold for a jewelry box. I love it. Kind of makes it a little bit fancy and a little bit on the antique side, which I love. So let's add some decor wax to these two pieces and then we will adhere it using our heavy body gel. All right, so this is the Eternal decor wax. I'm just going to put a little bit on our little piece of paper here. And I already have some on my artist brush here, my Art Basics brush. And so I'm gonna keep using that. Put a little bit on the brush and then we will just lightly brush it right over the top of our mold. Oh yeah. I like this too because it has that metallic feel, but it's also two-tone. So it's kind of a pewter silver color and then we've got our gold over top. So I will brush it on and then after you brush on your gold or your decor wax, whatever color suits your fancy. There's lots of different colors that you can choose from that you can do with the decor wax. It's really great to use. Then I will take just like a dry cloth or a paper towel and I just kind of rub over the top of it. This will just buff in the decor wax. It will remove any excess and it's going to make it so that our decor wax doesn't come off, okay? So let's buff him a little bit. I really love this mold, it's so great. It's beautiful on a dresser as well, if you put it down the drawer fronts, or you can put this, if you have one of those antique dresser that has a keyhole, but maybe the keyhole is kind of worn out or you don't have the key anymore, this would be a great one to place over top of that to kind of cover that up, but still let it have that antique fancy feel, okay? So let's add these on. I'm going to use the heavy body gel again. And this is our nice thick paste we've got. And let's add on our centerpiece first so we center it. That will be our center guide. And just go ahead and put that on there. The heavy body gel takes time to completely dry. And so typically when I'm applying molds to a piece of furniture, if I'm applying it at the very beginning before I add paint to it, then I will apply it and let them cure overnight or dry overnight before I start painting it. So typically if you kind of plan that way, put your molds on the night before you're doing the next phase to it, then you will be ready to go. All right, so we'll set that one right there in our center. Perfect. And I kind of wipe away the excess, like I said. Okay. And then we'll add our lions. You can also take a brush after you've applied them and kind of just swipe a brush across it if you got any excess on any parts that you don't want. And then you just wash your brush off after. It is a water-based product, so you can wash your brush off after. My tail kind of wants to go up, So what I'll do, I can hit that a little bit with a heat gun just to give it a little bit of movement, and then I will set it down after, and then I can set something heavy on it until it's totally dried, and then it will stay right in place flush with my piece.